Hello, this is wmpyr. I was shown a video. I have people, uh, ask me to give them pointers, and they'll send me a video of them training, and I just respond back. And sometimes I'll make a video. Sometimes I'll just try to write back and give some details and helpful tips. For today, the person, what they were doing was they were working on the 5 angles of attack. And the main thing about the 5 angles of attack is first, the weapon side, you want that to the front. And to keep that is kind of difficult if you've never done it before. People kind of want to tend to put the weapon in the back over here, and that's not the way that we do things. Think European fencing. So the weapon side is going to be in the front, okay? So that person was able to fix this part because before they kind of had trouble with that. So this time they had the weapon side to the front. This hand was also right here on the chest this time, and they kept it there, which shows a sense of control. This is kind of like the prerequisite before you start using both hands. So before that, you just kind of want to be able to pay attention to this hand and just leave it here on top of the heart, okay? What I don't want to see is this hand is like not being paid attention to and it's just kind of dangling right here, or even worse, it kind of gets in the way. So we just put the hand right there. So this person was able to do that. Another thing was when you're doing the 5 angles of attack, diagonal, diagonal, horizontal, horizontal, and stab, is at first for a beginner you want to keep the movements large. Why large? Because if you make the movements large, you have to use your body. So you're learning body mechanics. You're learning the proper body mechanics by just swinging. You don't want to use arm muscle, but you do want to use a full follow through so that it teaches you the proper body mechanics. The stick and the momentum teaches you proper body mechanics. That's the idea. So make your movements nice and large. This person definitely was doing that, so good for them. And so the area that I want to focus on, the next part, once you put in your repetitions that way and keep practicing that way, keep going 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5, okay? So once you start, and you repeat that, okay? So once you start doing that, the next step I would say is why don't we, it's kind of hard for me to show this, but let's put in a little bit of footwork. So what you're going to do is you're going to step every time you attack. So it's with the front leg. I'm just stepping forward as I attack. And then I step forward again as I attack, and I run out of space, so let me go again. So 1, 2, 3, and 4, and then 5. Okay, so every time I'm attacking, I am stepping forward simultaneously. So I recommend that you guys get that practice in. Make sure you're training in a place that has more space. So yeah, that would be good practice. And another thing is, you're doing the 5 angles of attack. Why don't we add the 6 angles of attack? Okay, so the 6 angles of attack looks like this. It's a diagonal down. That's number 1. Number 2 is a diagonal back the way you came. Number 3, diagonal up. Number 4, diagonal down. And then number 5 is a stab. And then number 6 is flick out the eye. So you're attacking the eye. So let me go one more time. It goes like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. So a little bit slower. Diagonal down, number 1. Number 2 is back the way that you came. Number 3 is now diagonal upwards from the other side. And then number 4 is diagonal back the way that you came. And then number 5 is the stab. And then bring the arm back. And number 6 is now you aim for the eye and you flick it out. So you come right here and you do this flicking motion. So one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So why not add that practice? And the way that you add it to the 5 angles of attack is you just alternate, okay? So what you should be doing with the 5 angles of attack is you should be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. So notice after 5, I immediately go back to 1. So it's continuous. I do the form over and over and over. So now we're going to mix in the 6 angles of attack. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then I'll go back to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then here's my 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Back to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So you're alternating. Okay, it makes training a little bit more fun that way because you're changing it around. So mix it in, have more fun. Let's see what else. Oh, next is the circular motions, right? So what I recommend is you need to do this kind of practice, okay? And notice that my hands are not opening up. If I open the hands, it's easier to rotate, but for combat, that's really something you don't want to do. And so you want to be able to control that, okay? So I recommend learn how to do this with a closed hand as much as possible. You need to be able to control it. You watch Filipino martial arts experts, sometimes they have a pretty open grip, but they've put in the time, they know the timing of when to do that, when not to do that. And by opening their hand and having a loose open grip like this, sometimes they do it on purpose because they use this to their advantage. It can give them extra snapping power. But for a beginner right now, you just need to be able to learn how to have a solid grip closed and still be able to do circular motions, okay, with a closed fist. So that should be your first concern. So let's go back to the 5 angles of attack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, when we're doing this, we're going to add a circular motion. So for number 1, boom, that's your number 1. Okay, so I'm going, number 1 is this diagonal. I'm just putting in 1 circle and a slash. So from right here, I'm going to go 1 circle and slash. So it comes here. So from here, the circle is on the inside, not outside. It's on the inside. So from here, it goes here. I'm just continuing the stick motion. Make 1 circle on the inside and then slash and finish right there. So one more time. 1. Number 2, let's just go normal. And then back to number 1. Here, that's the circle. Number 2 is normal. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1 and 2. So that's a good place to practice. Another one is number 3 and number 4. So for number 3, 4, which is side to side, you can go 3 and 4. 3, 4. So 3 is doing the circle and 4 is just straight back. Of course, you could add circles anywhere you want. You could take away circles. You could do circles on all of it. But for right now, these are maybe the easier ones. So I want to get you guys to be comfortable with it. So this one, and then don't worry about doing circle back this way. If you can, great. But sometimes it's good to start slower and take it step by step. So if you do feel comfortable, I would go, here's number 3, and then here's number 4. 3, 4, 3, and 4. That's how that's done. Or you could just go number 4, and then for 3, don't do it. Okay, so 3 is normal, but then 4, you do it. 3 is normal, 4, you do it. And if that's a little bit too hard, what I recommend is this roller coaster idea. So rather than going 3, 4, which is side to side, I'm going side to side, but I have this from up to down, back to up to down, back to up, and I can add a circular motion right there. So it kind of helps me learn the momentum easier. So if this might work out easier for some people, because I'm going up here, like one of those roller coasters, you may have seen those rides that do this kind of motion. So you're just learning momentum. I'm not putting in arm power. You just let the stick and the momentum teach you proper body mechanics. So that's it for now. Thank you for viewing, and take care, folks.